Hello, my friends, and welcome back for Match 2 of our Tier 3 showcase this evening. In this matchup, we are going to have Tribulation going up against Ignition. My name is Bullskunk. I got Chef Billy joining me in the booth here for round number 2.
Hi, everybody. It has been a minute since I've been with Bull, but here we go.
It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
I've been excited. I've been watching these, as you've been casting them here the past couple of days. I caught the earlier match with my little dragon has grown up. I'm so proud of him with KIA. My goodness. I remember him when he was like 13 and like very annoying. And but he always had the potential, and now we are starting to see that potential fully realized. KIA is looking absolutely murderous here in the Tier 3 showcase and in Tier 3 in general. Looking around at some of the things that are going on around the league as we are getting ready, gearing up for Season 7 of the CGL. Man, I am excited for Tier 3. Tier 3 last season was the tier that had the most viewage. And
very exciting tier for sure.
There are some very, very heated rivalries that happened, and some of the teams may have broken up, but I think that some of those rivalries have transferred over with the people that have gone to new teams or gone to existing orgs, and they have brought that heat, that fire, that pissed off energy that we all think about when playing a game like this. I think they bring it with them here. This is another one here. Super Haddock is one of my favorite main tanks in Tier 3. So I'm excited to see this.
Well, we are going to have Ignition in the red, starting us off with a little Ryan Zarya. They are bringing the meta composition in the McCree May, but they're using the Moira as opposed to the Ana that we've seen a lot recently. On the other side of the fence, Trib is bringing us the Ana Lucio with the Reinhardt Diva, May McCree. No surprises there. It is going to be Ignition kind of getting a good positional advantage at first, crossing the gap and closing that distance, but they lose their McCree in the process. Fire goes down to a nice shot from Minty Yeti. Lucio is low as Yeti is looking for more, not quite able to pick up that kill. And Chaotic, he's going to find the kill onto that Zarya, though, giving him another advantage here. 2 men up on the side of Tribulation as they're going to get this thing started. Good capture progress opened up here on Muckabase.
Yeah, that was a very quick first kill by Minty Yeti, taking out his counterpart, and then it seems like the May of Tribulation right now is being the more aggressive of the two, using her walls to much better effect than Dark Matter is.
Now, with that said, Dark Matter is 80% to Blizzard, doubling the ult percentage put up there by Cosmic. We'll see if it can be the difference maker as Ignition has come back in, swinging and finding themselves a couple kills. Seem to catch Tribulation a little bit off guard there. As after some cleanup, they should be getting this thing flipped right back over.
Yeah, that was not a very long hold at all for Tribulation, and Ignition is absolutely being the aggressor right now. I think that they may have been overzealous in their initial contest here in the middle of the top point of Muckabase here. They might have gotten ahead of their May and gotten a little bit walled off and kind of separated, but absolutely perfect aggression there coming from Dark Matter, getting the DMEC onto the Diva, taking out that damage mitigation, and it was absolutely clockwork from there.
Well, now we got Super Haddock with that Earthshatter online. Starts off with a great charge. Picks off Cosmic on that May. Now Fire goes down, and it's a 5v5 here outside this choke. Nano Boost goes on to Chaotic Guide. Reinhardt from Tribulation. Oh, and he drops a nice Deadeye. Comes out from Tribulation as well. And that's going to send Ignition scrambling back. Moira trying to fade out of damage. Oh, and they trade the blows. Once the dust settles, it will be Trib getting this thing flipped right back over once again. What a back and forth we've seen so far.
Absolutely, and that was just trade for trade, blow for blow. And look at the Zarya for a pea shooter, holding onto that grab that he's got in his pocket, getting as much progress potential out of his defense there. 51% to 35, not a bad start for Tribulation.
Haddock caught on the bad side of the wall, throws his Earthshatter down to try and save himself. He does manage to find the May with him, but not much else. But in the end, he gets a nice pin as the reinforcements come through on the other side. Blizzard comes out from Tribulation. Bomb coupled with it.
Big bomb.
And Ignition are just lying in tatters as Tribulation able to hold on 56% and counting on the board.
But Pea Shooter still has his grab online, and he also has a Deadeye to combo that with, should he so choose. So let us see what happens. And let's see, we've got this outside of our games right now, not worrying about that.
Yep, it was just observer. All right, looks like Ignition coming back in. They're going to use the bridge, coming in from a different route here. Try to drop on the objective, perhaps force the engagement onto them. so far. It's just been a little slow poking prod, and we'll see how they choose to press down. Oh! On the ground side. Earthshatter comes out. Pea Shooter goes down once again, holding that Graviton Surge in his pocket. Still not able to find any value from that ultimate. And Tribulation with 93% and counting. This is going to be one last-ditch effort here for Ignition to get this thing flipped over. Kills coming through. Reinhardt picks up a nice kill onto the Diva over there. As Ignition is pushing in, rallying behind this main tank. But on the other side, we're going to get that nano boost coming out onto Chaotic. And he's going swinging for the fences. Bikaras goes down. Super Haddock goes down. Graviton Surge does finally come out from Ignition. But I'm worried it's going to be too little too late. The overtime wick is starting to burn, and this will be Trib picking up first point.
That was some incredible play there from the side of Tribulation. There in the latter moments of that, a very pivotal nano boost going on to the Reinhardt of Tribulation. That actually kept him up because he was super low, and I think that if he would have gotten out there, I think all the bets would have been off. But, you know, Pea Shooter's grab was basically shot for nothing. I think, you know, maybe using it a little bit earlier in the fight, doing something with it a little bit better, maybe a little bit of a zoning ult, even though that's kind of what he used it there in that instance. But I think he could have used it a little bit earlier and try to get something out of it. Just held on to it a bit too long. So ult management right now looking very good for the side of Tribulation. And, you know, I think that Ignition has some work to do. Fire and Dark Matter need to combo a little bit better together and get better aggression onto their onto the tanks of Tribulation.
Boy, they're clashing over the point. Wall comes out from Ignition trying to divide off the other team, and Chaotic Guy does go down, but they lose Bearman in the process. And that's a large source of their healing they're going to need. Now, they do manage to get the kill onto Minty Yeti, and Cosmic drops as well, so no more DPS standing here for Trib. And it looks like Ignition are going to get us started here on downtown and get control going in their favor.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of early picks there coming from the side of from Tribulation, but they actually swung it around. Ignition actually swung it around in their favor, taking down Cosmic early in the fight. Took out a big source of their CC potential, and walling off. And yeah, it was just aces from there.
Well, Wall comes up. That's going to divide Chaotic from the rest of the team. It comes down just in time. No, the healer's not quite able to save him. Oh, but they trade out. No more main tanks left standing. No more Reinhardts on the field. It's going to be up to the Divas to create this space. Maywall coming up from Trib, trying to separate off Bikaras there. They're going to get him frozen, but the defense matrix from the Diva there to keep him alive. And in fact, it is going to be Ignition striking back on the opposite side of this entrance as the Lucio may go down for Tribulation. Oh, Billy, what can Trib do to break this open? They're going to be running into a bunch of ultimates, and they don't have much on their side.
Go Junkrat. I think Junkrat right here, getting to the higher ground, or doing something, maybe going high ground with a sniper, either a Hanzo or a Widow right now, doing something to prevent, because Fire right now is absolutely shredding shields. He is shredding everything out right now, and there is nothing they have an answer for right now.
Well, it's a good wall to start things off. Blizzard gets eaten by Dark Matter, though. Oh, and that's not what you wanted to see on the side of Tribulation. They do get the boop onto the May and deny the value coming out the other side. They're going to continue to slowly press forward onto the objective with Ignition backing up and trying to kite them here a little bit. Now we're going to get a main tank battle going off on the back end of the engagement. Meanwhile, settling Ace goes down. Minty Yeti goes down. And Ignition, man, looking into complete control here so far.
This is absolutely filthy, and they only invested one ult into that, and that was the Coalescence from Bearman. I don't even think they bust the sound barrier there. They may have. I didn't catch it. But they've got 2 tank ults and Deadeye from Fire ready to go.
Blizzard's going to come out from Cosmic to start things off. See if that can be the difference. But Fire answering right back with a nice Deadeye. Minty's going to come up and try to drop one of his own, but does not find any targets. In fact, he gets taken out by the Diva Bomb. And Ignition are going to tie us up here on Busan. Little solo shatter onto the Ana for good measure. That's a team kill and a map win. Indeed. What a glorious sound that is. What a satisfying sound that is.
It's one of my favorite sounds. I think I'm the one that... I don't know if I actually named it the Gong of Death back in one of my earlier casts. I don't know if one of the Owlcasters did, but I've always called it the Gong of Death because it just sounds so very satisfying. Nice turnaround from Ignition, though. Getting back to the point at hand, that was a very convincing 100-0 take of downtown by Ignition, based off their first map, the Mecha Base. They ended up going to their own Diva, and I think that was the absolute right call to make.
Yeah.
Putting P Shooter off the Zarya and onto the Diva.
I've seen teams struggle with Zarya several times here in this meta, and it seems to only work in particular situations. And the coordination on the opening map just didn't quite seem to be there. But P-Shooter back on the Diva here again as we're going on to Drum here. They're going to clash right over the middle point. Sanctuary is the official term. I like calling it Drum. Good Fire Strike coming out. Had to build it a little bit towards that ultimate. So far, no kills coming through. Both teams just kind of poking and prodding around this left pillar. We do have that Symmetra on the side of Trib. I'll be interested to see if they're able to get the impact there. Oh, right as I say that, right as Minty is trying to build up that charge. A big charge of his own comes out of Super Haddock. And that takes him down. P-Shooter will get the kill onto the counterpart Diva. Super Haddock getting the kill onto Chaotic as well. And Ignition continuing the momentum, and they're staying strong here on Sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're looking at May versus May, Dark Matter's winning this hands down right now.
Yeah, 95% towards that Blizzard. They've got Earthshatter, Bomb. I mean, almost a full six stack of ultimates coming online here. For Ignition.
You know, we were talking about this during the CCO Winter Showcase and other stuff. Dark Matter going from Tier 2 to Tier 3. He looks right at home here in Tier 3. He's absolutely owning right now. Another Eve by settling Ace onto Dark Matter's Blizzard.
Just gobbling them up like breakfast, and they get the kill onto Super Haddock as well. Fire trying to answer back. It's a kill onto the Lucio. But I'm not sure how much better he's there. Oh, Deadeye coming out. Can he find anything with it? Shield will be there. I think it's just going to hold Trib on the back of the... Oh! Somehow, Cosmic gets picked off through that one patient play coming out of Fire, and he turns around and then picks up the kill onto Oni as well. This Cowboy is feeling it.
Whoa! Dude, I think he held that as long as he could possibly hold it, because Deadeye is not like an infinite time amount. You've got a finite amount of time to get that off.
Well, I thought he was just going to let the timer run out on it. And sure enough, like you said, I mean, he pulls it at the absolute last possible moment. He pulls that trigger. Finds a very important kill. Yeah.
Cosmic has it. Oh, that's a block bomb.
Nice play. And then Cosmic going to respond with the Blizzard as well. That's going to find themselves a kill onto Dark Matter. They're going to turn their attention on the Lucio as the Soundbreaker had come out from B. Karos, but I don't think it's going to be enough to keep Ignition in this fight. Tribulation finding themselves some momentum here finally on Sanctuary. And I think they will start getting some progress going here momentarily.
They're looking for the Diva, and Diva sitting on top of the drum, contesting this whole time.
They do finally get it flipped, but not before Ignition gets 92%. And they are definitely within that one fight territory.
I tell you what, this switch from Mini Yeti over from the McCree to the Symmetra is absolutely eating the tanks and shields apart right now. This could be a very pivotal change from the last two maps.
And of course, once Symmetra gets her feet planted, it is so difficult to uproot that character. And that is exactly what they've done. You can see those turrets are set up just through that middle choke on the other side of this rock.
Maybe a little questionable placement of them, if I'm being honest. You know, you might want to spread them out just a little bit.
Well, it's going to be Ignition opening things up with Coalescence. So they're going to try to drop through the middle. They do try to drop through the middle, but they go right, only running into one of those turrets. Minimal damage from that. Oh, nice! Symmetra wall comes out the photon barrier, blocking the Earthshatter. Now Ignition going to throw a bomb, and Trib throws bomb into that, and they find Super with that important ultimate. Oh, and they've got the baby Diva staggered in the back. Okay, they're going to go ahead and have a mercy kill on P-Shooter there. Allow them to regroup.
Yeah, that was actually a very interesting little combo of events. Symmetra wall, photon barrier with the added Diva bomb. Only picks up one, but I think that the DMAC on the P-Shooter was what they were actually looking for and did their job.
Well, and that first kill was onto the Reinhardt, and that's a pretty important one. That's a good kill to get. Wall coming out from Tribulation now is Ignition trying to push in, but it left a little bit of a gap there. Not blocking off much. Ignition going to go ahead and invest their Blizzard. In fact, dueling Blizzards coming out from both sides. It's feeling really cold in Basad all of a sudden. Nano Boost coming out onto Chaotic, and he goes swinging for the fences, but it is Minty Yeti coming up with a nice 3 picks. Big 3K from that Symmetra.
Absolutely. That was, like I said, I think they may have been the pivotal pick that we were not expecting. 92 to 92 right now. They've got to get a foot on the payload. They've got ultimates to work with, so they just need to get there.
One last fight to determine this opening map. Ignition with a little bit of ult advantage. Oh, it gets slept and just decimated on the objective. Super Haddock not standing a chance. One by one, Ignition throwing themselves on this point. Diva Bomb coming out in desperation. But Tribulation are in full control. And it looks like they will be taking map 1.
Absolutely. And look at Mini Yeti. Mini Yeti is just absolutely lighting up the kill feed.
Yeah, that's Sim Swap coming in clutch.
Symmetra is viable. Hashtag play sim.
Hashtag play sim. Oh, what a back and forth. We're off to a heck of a start here. Tribulation able to edge it out with this smart pick. We're going to see some of these kills coming through from Minty Yeti here.
God, she was ramped up. She was so ramped up.
Oh wow, what a series of 4K. Well, stick around. We'll see if Tribulation can keep it up, or if Ignition are going to bounce back when we return in just a few moments. Great showing coming out of both teams, really, on that first map. We saw some wonderful coordination coming out of Ignition, and then some great adaptation coming out of Tribulation there on that third map. Very, very close match so far. Tribulation with a slight edge and a 1-0 map lead.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely a really interesting first map of Busan. Swaps here that I've had go in. We've got Navi coming in for P-Shooter.
For P-Shooter,
and then QZ, QZK4 is coming in for Cosmic on the DPS side. And then we've got Dan the Man coming in for Kukos. So I think that is good to go.
Nice, and that last sub there was in the support role for Trib. We will have Tribulation starting us off on the defense here on Kings Row. Looks like they're staying fairly meta, but they're going to use QZ on that Hanzo.
Yay!
That is interesting. Don't see much Hanzo these days.
No, not a whole lot. And they're sticking with the Diva. We have seen, Hanzo paired with the Zarya, of course, for that big wombo combo. And speaking of, on the other side, we will be seeing a Zarya coming out of Ignition on the offense here. As well as the Symmetras, they're going to teleport right on top of that front hotel balcony there. 2 May walls coming up. Going to slow things down here just a little bit. But then Ignition, they're going to take the aggression. They're going to push the members of Tribulation all the way back into the corner. But no kills coming through just yet. Nice kiting coming through from Trip.
Absolutely huge immortality barrier coming out from Karis right there.
And the back and forth goes as Oni and QZ coming up with a couple kills, but Navi not to be outdone, trying to stay in this, trying to keep Ignition from going back, and it looks like the offense have done it. They've got it capped. Let's get this payload on the way, full speed ahead.
Massive plays coming out from both Karis and Navi there. You also got to look on the side of Tribulation. Oni Chan's on the Ana right now. Got a 4-man nade off in the face of Super Haddock's shield. And managed to get 4 of them. So watch for Oni Chan's. The charge to Nano Boost right now is absolutely massive. Almost already on it.
I'll be interested to see. I imagine that Nano will go out onto the Reinhardt Chaotic, already 98% towards an Earthshatter as well. That Earthshatter coming online as we speak. And Haddock goes down. No more shield standing. Is he going to throw it in? Does Trib even need it to defend here? Yep, here comes the Earthshatter. That finds 2. But Chaotic whittled down to as low as 3 health before backing up. Ana getting there to heal him up. QZ settling ace coming through with some picks. And Trib's going to hold on here on the defense.
Yeah. Stellar defense right there. Once again, the immortality field of Karis right now is absolutely keeping the members of Tribulation up and able to fight. I don't know what they can do to kind of make use of this, but they've got to do a little bit more on the healing side.
We had an Earthshatter come out from Super Haddock, but that got blocked by the Maywall on the side of Trib, and then Blizzard Diva Bomb comes out. Chaotic goes in swinging, and Tribulation makes short work of that offense. Man, just look away for a second. You missed that fight. Trib dominating here on the defense.
Once again, it was all set up by an Oni Chan's Bionade. that anti-nade is paying huge dividends for Tribulation right now. You've got to do something to contain the Ana right now, because Ana is carrying these team fights right now.
Yeah, and they also managed to get that Earthshatter out of Super Haddock, but Ignition with a whole other plethora of ultimates coming online. They're going to open up with that Amp Matrix, put some extra damage down through that window, force the members of Trib back around the corner, back around behind the bookstore. Here comes the Graviton Surge, combined with Blizzard as well as Coalescence. Ignition throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this, and only pick up 1 kill so far. Get the Immortality Field coming out, and they do find that second blow onto Chaotic, and this should buy them at least some space here on point B.
Yep, and Oni-chan's actually invested that nano boost onto Chaotic Guide, and it did not help him. He was bursting down way too fast. Too much coming into him for that. Dark Matter's throwing up some massive walls right now.
Absolutely. And Ignition, they did use quite a few ultimates, but they still have that Earthshatter online as well as that Deadeye. Oh, but Super Haddock goes down. They have less than 2.5 meters to push this thing home, and they've lost their main tank. Bearman's going to fall, and what a terrible place to go down as the offense. You have such a long walk back.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be some backwards progress here for Ignition with their payload. Really good sequence of events there. Started off by the Shatter coming out of Chaotic Guide. Absolutely. Once Haddock went down, he had a free Shatter. He took down 2, stunned 2 out, and made Bearman have to fade out of sight, out of line of sight. It was just game over from there.
Well, good news for Ignition fans. They did manage to hold on to those 2 aforementioned ultimates, and they're coming up on a Graviton Surge as well as a Blizzard. So they may have the tools to push this thing through. They will be facing the 2 support ultimates on the other side as they're looking to push around this corner. Maywall comes up from the defense. That's going to divide off the main, taking a good ante onto Haddock as well, and he will fall. They managed to pick off fire as well. And that's a quick to make that 3-man advantage here for Tribulation on the defense. And they're just going to move in and clean up from there.
Ult economy right now. That is what the name of the game is right now. Oni-chan's is absolutely owning Ignition right now. They're doing nothing to really silence the Ana for Tribulation. That is their linchpin right now, because all these antis coming in from Oni-chan's is what is keeping them at bay right now. And, you know, on the other side, Minty Yeti is playing an absolutely phenomenal May in his own right. So this is a chess match indeed.
Well, good opening pick coming through for Ignition, but Trib going to counter back with the Blizzard. Charge comes out from the Reinhardt. The bomb is there. Bomb finds 2. Chaotic found 1 of his own. Ignition tried to throw Coalescence in there, but they managed to hold on to the rest of their ultimates, which is good news for them because they've got 50 seconds on the clock to find an answer to point B here.
Absolutely. They had 5 to work with. They went ahead and invested the Coalescence into it, or they invested the Blizzard into that. They still have 4 ults online for Tribulation Squad. Looking on the other side, you know, you've got almost 5 ults. Well, you got 4 ults, almost halfway to a Deadeye for fire. This could be a very interesting sequence of events.
Yeah, this one could get nasty here. As the teams are going to clash here in the small streets on the backside of the hotel, or the backside of this house here. Graviton Surge comes out from Ignition to start things off. They're going to go ahead and throw the Amp Matrix down as well. Deadeye comes out from the other side, and it's the Deadeye that finds the kill. Both McCree's picking up 1, and it's a 5v5 here on point, but it's getting tilted the other way. Fire goes down, but Ignition able to find a couple picks, at least a pick on the Ryan and a DMAC. And what a back and forth. As the overtime wick is starting to burn, Trib is going to go ahead and throw down their Sound Bear. Earthshatter comes out but finds nothing on the side of Ignition. And it is just a chaotic brawl here on the objective. Oh my goodness, who's going to emerge here?
Oof, I don't know.
Trib picking up a kill. Dark Matter answers back and picks off the...
Got touch.
Oh!
Oh no, C9!
Bikaras not able to get on the objective there. The support line of Trib doing a good job of cleaning up in the end. And I think a boop came out and denied Bikaras from being able to get back in touch.
And Dan the Man on the Lucio for Tribulation actually held his sound barrier until the last possible second. And I think that's what kept them up and kept them topped off and provided with that extra healing and extra HP. So, wow. I mean, right now, support line of Tribulation is absolutely dominating. You got to look at Oni-chan's right now. Oni-chan's, I see you. You are seen. You are discovered. You are a gem. Also on the side of Ignition, I gotta say, Karras's play with his immortality fields, he kept his team up a lot of times when they should have gone down. So support teams right now, you always think about, tanks and DPS is carrying the games right now. The support sides, or the support squads for these two teams, absolutely worth their weight in gold. Let's see who's going to take care of it here with Ignition going on the defense, Tribulation on the offense. They got 112.27 meters, almost to the capture of point B.
Yeah, about 2.5 meters shy of point B.
Yeah, so I mean, this could be a very interesting couple of points here.
Well, and I like the fact that Ignition has made that swap over to the D.Va. I think that could have been a swap that would have helped them tremendously on their assault, trying to eat up those Bionades coming from the Ana. Here we go, walls coming out as the offense gets divided up from their supports. But both Reinhardt's coming up with a kill, but Super Haddock falls in his endeavor. And a one-man advantage on the side of Trib as they look to push in. Dan the Man coming up with 2 big picks on that Lucio. They're going to storm right over and pick up a quick point A.
And there's another massive Bionade from Oni-chan's onto Fire and Dark Matter. Game over for that.
Oni-chan's on this Ana, absolutely showing off.
Already almost 70% to a nano boost, and we are, what, 45 seconds into this first point?
Well, even the fact that your Ana is leading the server in ult charge. I mean, that's not as quick an ultimate as the Moira, or I mean that's some good work right there. Some good play coming out of the Ana on the side of Trib. And now it's Tribulation planting their feet here in the front of Bookstore. You've got Minty just hiding inside of Bookstore, just waiting for the opportunity. Oh! The Mei has been found out. Wall comes up. Good heads-up play coming out of Super Haddock, able to read that situation and not get blocked off by that Mei wall.
Yeah, I think that, you know what? I honestly think that a Bearman or somebody on the side of Ignition needs to swap over right now to an Ana of their own. Whoa!
6-man shatter comes out of Chaotic Guide, and Tribulation on the back of that, rolling over him like a wave of torment and damage.
That once again started with Oni-chan's popping the nano boost onto Chaotic Guide there. Oh my lord.
Minty Yeti trying to get on top of the high ground above the subway entrance there, just doesn't quite make it. Oh, Minty Yeti trying to, there we go. Minty Yeti up on the high ground, got this great flank angle, 90% towards that Blizzard, and Trib can smell victory as they see that box right in front of them. Coalescence comes out from Ignition as they look to deny this attack coming through. Bomb comes out from Tribulation, doesn't find much. Blizzard coming out from the other side, and QZ is going to be the difference maker here as he finds 2 with his Deadeye. Spike going down, and we got a Deadeye coming out from the other side, but there's a giant shield in his way, and Fire cannot find anything. This should be Tribulation picking up map 2 here after some cleanup. Can we get a miracle from Ignition? They're trying, they're not giving up. Gotta love their tenacity. The D.Va there stalling for as long as possible. First Shatter comes out, that finds 3! And Chaotic Guide goes down. What a great start to this fight. Dark Matter comes back on that Doomfist, is able to find a kill. And they are just going to storm that in. Picks up another on Dan the Man, and I don't believe it. The tenacity from Ignition coming through, and they are going to hold and stabilize in the back of point B.
Well, and you've got to look at it. They've got the better spawn time right now. Right here on point B. It's definitely favors the defenders here. So this could actually be very good. And if one of them actually swapped over to the Symmetra, it would be even faster. Plus the shield potential burst from the Symmetra getting ramped up. I think the Symmetra would actually be a really good. Oh my gosh, that's a 3-man nade right there again.
Yeah, Oni just a surgeon with those Bionades. And here comes Trib looking to push the pressure on. D.Va up on the high ground, trying to deny the advantage from the McCree on the opposing high ground. And they are going to get early pick. Trib finding that first kill, and they're going to throw that nano boost onto the Reinhardt. Chaotic Guy going in there, swinging for that Lucio. But B. Karas able to drop that sound barrier, keep his team standing and in this fight, at least for the meantime. QZ, he's going to open things up, though. Find the kill on the opposing Cowboy, winning the showdown at the OK Corral. And now Trib once again storming through, picking up the kills. Will we see another big stall coming out of Ignition this time?
I mean, right now they've got the Tracer out there. Oh, no. Dark Matter goes down. Killed by a Bionade.
Lightning will not strike twice, and Trib will pick up their second map win here on Kings Row.
MVP right now across these first 2 maps, Oni-chan's.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
No argument there.
Good grief. Here's this stellar play right here.
Oh, what a blizzard. The wall coming up trying to deny value, but woo. Settling Ace just dropped that bomb right in there. What a play. Well, we'll be back with map 3 in just a few moments. We'll see if Ignition can start their comeback when we return. Well, welcome back, my friends. We are headed into map 3 here of the Tier 3 Showcase. My name is Wolfskunk. I am joined by Chef Billy here in the booth for this matchup for you tonight. A matchup between Tribulation and Ignition. Both of these brand new teams, well, brand new by the fact that they did not compete in last year's iteration of the multi-tier tournament from CGL. And so far we've seen impressive stuff from both sides, but Tribulation coming out on top with a 2-0 lead as we head into Horizon Lunar Colony.
You know, and there's some fallout from things that happened to their previous teams that, you know, we want to be, you know, integrous. I don't know. English is not my first language, so I still have some problems sometimes with getting the adjective right. We want to be of the highest integrity when we say things out here, and you know, these teams have worked their asses off, excuse the language, for having what happened to them with all their various teams splitting apart, internal struggles, you know, cheating scandals. You know, we're here to report the teams, and we're here to, you know, give a showcase to these people that have, you know, gone beyond the odds and you know, come out swinging and ready to defend their honor, ready to defend their reputation with new orgs or reformed orgs, as I like to call it. And yeah. This is good stuff. I want to hear from Ryan Guy in the chat if he's there, because I have a huge amount of respect for him.
Well, and so far, Trip looking very strong, and of course, you know, Ignition breaking off from the illusion after the stress that happened there, a little bit of the controversy that happened there with that organization. These guys wanted to separate themselves and kind of start over, and I gotta admire them for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was an absolutely brutal thing that went down. It's disgusting. My own personal thought on that. What this Diego dude is doing. Love to you guys, Ignition. We got your back, buddy.
Well, and they started off with a nice teleport, putting him here on the left-hand side and giving him a great position to attack this first point, as they are coming back in with that Sim May composition. Wall comes up, trying to divide off the team, but leaving a little too much space around. And in fact, it's the wall from Tribulation that's going to put Super Haddock in a dangerous spot, and he is going to go down under that pressure. And I think without their main tank, Ignition are going to struggle to try to push here on this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot to deal with. Fire right now is putting in a lot of damage, but Cosmic is absolutely fragging out on this May right now, getting headshot after headshot. And it's chaotic beginning to Horizon Lunar Colony, or as we call it, Verizon, because they're in space and they have a great signal up here. So we call it Verizon.
Covering more heroes than any other network.
I love you. Oh my god, I love you.
Oh, well, Ignition now running back in here. They have that Moira ultimate online, as they're going to path around the far right side. Fire making that swap over to the May, so they're coming back in with that May McCree. Coalescence does come out from both sides, as Ignition looking to push in here and make something happen on point A. So far, no kills coming through from either team. That does have that Earth Shatter on the line for the defense. And that Deadeye comes out, finds one. That's going to prompt Beck to get very aggressive here as he goes charging in and swinging that sword for the fences. Ignition on the back foot here, just trying to survive.
I don't know if Karis is going to get out. Nope, he did not get out. Once again, you know, we're looking at this McCree kind of meta that's starting to really coalesce into an actual thing going on. Man, I don't know how this ever came about to be.
It's
But
a deadly
I'm loving
composition, though. Man,
I'm loving it.
It's actually pretty fun to watch. There's a lot. You get a good combination of the gameplay, good game sense, as well as people popping off and clicking heads. I like it.
So a bit of a lower rotation here coming from Ignition. This is actually a fun play.
Beck puts out a nice fire strike, able to pick off Dark Matter. Now we're going to get the Earth Shatter combined with a good Maywall coming out of the defense. Coalescence invested as well. Sound Barrier coming out from Ignition and trying to survive the onslaught, trying to see if they can weather the storm. But the Deadeye, once again from QZ, picking off key targets, and this time finding that Reinhardt. And it's going to make life even more difficult for Ignition as they have just 45 seconds left on the clock.
Right, and I don't know what's up with Dark Matter on this map right now because QZK got 2 Deadeyes in the time that it took Dark Matter to get his first one. So I'm not sure if it's a matter of positioning or if it's a matter of too much aggression coming into them. But I think the Symmetra pick, you know, while it was fun, I think he should have actually stayed. Fire should have stayed on it, gotten his wall, and then switched over to the May. But we'll see what happens. We've got 17 seconds.
Good news for Ignition is they do have that Earth Shatter as well as both DPS ultimates online and ready to go here. 10 seconds on the clock. How are they going to open up? You can see Super is eyes sharp on that Reinhardt, looking for an opening place, that Earth Shatter. They're going to go ahead and invest Blizzard in first, but it doesn't seem they were able to catch much. Beck throws an Earth Shatter the other way, but that one misses as well.
Oh,
and
that's big!
Yeah, Super Haddock able to open things up, starts with a good charge, lays down a nice Earth Shatter, and I think Ignition, with the overtime wick burning, finally have found their answer to point A.
Yeah, Janae? That's how I'm going to pronounce it, is Janae.
We'll go Janae.
Janae. We'll go with that. Janae, I watched her unfortunate head smack a little back and touch her in the scorpion pose.
Oh my goodness. Gnarly. Just gnarly. Well, Ignition
You still got a bomb?
Yeah.
You still got a bomb at Coalescence and now still holding on to that Deadeye from Dark Matter. This could be a very quick snowball if they play their cards right.
Fortunately for Trib, they do have 2 support ults online to help survive all of these ultimates coming out from Ignition. Now Ignition going to go ahead and rotate back around towards the far right side from the defender's perspective. Then they're going to throw a Deadeye into the mix. Dark Matter pulling the trigger on that, not able to find anything but a shield. But Fire opens up with a first blow, killing Dan the Man and taking out that Lucio. QZ, though, once again coming through. They're not the most flashy of Deadeyes, but man, they hit the right targets, picking off the Moira this time around. Ignition not to be outdone just yet, throws a bomb into the mix. And that bomb getting the DMAC. That's going to open things up. Trib trying to survive as they throw a sound barrier down as both teams have dwindled down. You have only 5 members left on point. Nothing picked up for Ignition.
No, that was a lot of investiture for 0 pickup. I think you throw the bomb in first and then go in with the Deadeye. Because you take shields out, you possibly get a DMAC. You're going to pull the Coalescence out from Tribulation there, and you know they had too much in the bank to basically weather the storm of ults. Well,
now Ignition coming back in with a Deadeye of their own, and Earthshatter online and ready to go. That Earthshatter's going to come out early, and that finds 2. Good play coming out, and those 2 kills light up in the feed, but they lose Dark Matter in the process. 5v4 for Ignition here on the objective. Tribulation's going to throw their Blizzard into the mix, as well as the bomb, and the bomb picks off Super Haddock. And with just 60 seconds on the clock, you can see Ignition feeling the pressure now as that Moira invests her ultimate into the mix.
Another eat!
Oh, and a big eat from Settling Ace, gobbling up Blizzards like no tomorrow here tonight. And I think on the back of that, Trib will be able to hold on Cosmic and Settling Ace, picking up a couple kills in that endeavor. Here comes a Diva Bomb from the other side, though. Not able to pick anything up. Billy, is there any hope for Ignition here? What do they got to do to take this point?
He's eating it. Huge play coming out from Na'Vi there, eating the entirety of that Deadeye.
And then Super around in the back, putting a lot of pressure on the back line and buying them some space. And between the 2, they have indeed found some room to work here on point B. And not a moment too soon, as there's just 14 seconds left on the clock. Wall comes out from Ignition, blocks off the Reinhardt sound barrier from Tribulation, as they are not out of this just yet. But with that said, 3 kills quickly light up the feed. Dark Matter throws that Deadeye into the mix, and then falls with a good kill onto Janai. This will be Ignition, finally getting 2 points on the board, after a bit of cleanup.
Woo! interesting series of events right there.
Very.
Let me tell you what. Right now, if I'm looking at it from both teams' side, Settling Ace is not allowed to go to Dairy Queen anymore because he's eaten 4 blizzards tonight, and he might get a tummy ache.
No more sweets for you.
No more blizzards for you, Settling Ace.
That's certainly what Ignition is hoping.
Wow.
They need Ace to go on a diet because he is gobbling those things up.
This is a very impressive performance from Settling Ace, eating the blizzards, because, I mean, timing your DM the right way to get to a blizzard, which is a very small animation in relative terms to like a grab or something like that, or a dragon's. Blizzard is actually really hard to eat. And this is 4. And yeah, we're taking you off the kids menu. You're going to pay full price now, because 4 blizzards, way too much Dairy Queen, sir. Way too much.
And Settling Ace, of course, sticking with that diva here, as Trib is going to go on the offense. In fact, we're not getting much of a comp switch out of Tribulation at all. Now, on the other side, we will see the Moira in. Oh, okay, we are getting Moira once again on both sides. So mirror composition here. Oh, QZ! QZ making a liar out of me. Look at this last-second swap going over the sim.
I mean, it almost worked for Ignition there, the early teleporter. Just not enough focus fire there on the first point when they tried to aggress on the point from the left side. So this could be very good. Karis, you really need to watch yourself because, yeah.
Teleporter directly onto the objective, but QZ goes down immediately as Navi is right on top of it. Bigheads responds back and gets the kill on the countering Reinhardt, and that could be just the ticket that Trib needs to try to open this thing up. May force the ice block out. There's a lot of pressure coming in from the other side, but the DMAC coming through for Trib. Bigheads coming up with some big kills. As Tribulation storming over point A. Oh my goodness.
Oof, what an amount of aggression there. I think that they take that little bit of loss that they took there and focused down Super Haddock and got the shield out of the way. And once that shield's out of the way, there's nothing that a team right now in this meta can do. If the main tank is gone, if that shield's gone, you're done. There's no lies about it. In 6 minutes, 10 seconds is what we're looking for, a time bank going on to point B here.
Now, a little bit of a silver lining for Ignition is Trib was not able to build up a whole lot of ultimates during that engagement. So the snowball potential isn't quite as bad as it could be, and kills trade out, start things off 5v5 here on the objective, and Ignition missing large chunk of their healing here on this point. Coalescence comes out from the offense as Trib looking to solidify, make their mark here on Horizon. They want to clean this thing up, and a quick 3-0 swoop, and Bigheads making a good effort towards that endeavor as he picks up 2 early kills. Blizzard comes out, trying to counterpunch back on the side of the defense, and Ignition, of course, not going down without a fight. But the pressure from Tribulation a bit too much here as they're starting to get the stall tactic coming in on the other side. Ooh, the high noon on the top. The wall came out to try to block him off, but just gave him more high ground. That could have been very dangerous. They're able to survive it, and Trib, man, this thing is looking very one-sided right now. And if they put this thing up here in the next few seconds, they're going to have a monstrous time bank to work with going into extra innings.
I mean, it's going to be absolutely monstrous. I think they were in overtime also, so this just may be a one-point-and-done thing.
It's looking that way, but the stall is fairly successful. Coming out, QZ tilting the balance, giving some favor back with a nice 2-kill Deadeye. Wrecking Ball still trying to spin around, but he's down to nothing. Ball goes down, Tracer goes down, Diva Bomb comes out from the defense. They may have found one. Yes, it did get the DMAC as the stall continues to come through. But Trib picking these kills up as quickly as they come out. Moira's down, but here comes Lucio and May.
I mean, the stall is absolutely working right now. You just gotta, oh man, that's a big shot. That's only catching one though.
And the Moira come back into touch. Wrecking Ball back on the objective. They burned through those shields already. No more cooldowns, no more health. And Trib up to 99%. They got it.
Oh.
2 points on the board, over 4 minutes in the time bank.
That was clinical precision from Tribulation. And I've got to say, looking at it, based upon the back of that, I think that my initial point stands. If your main tank goes down in this meta that is being played basically around our CGL league, I know this is not CGL right now, even though all these teams will be playing in CGL next season. If your main tank goes down, if you're not pumping resources into your main tank, you might as well just go ahead and take the L.
Yeah.
Because the focus fire seems to be right now coming from Tribulation onto Ignition Super Haddock 68. And I mean, he's doing everything he can. He's trying to pin out of blizzards. He's trying to pin out of stuns. He's had to deal with a Symmetra in his face today. I mean, poor Haddock is just getting the ass end of what's going on in this meta right now. And the main tanks, and I'm finding it myself, you know, in Tier 2, I find myself getting focused down so very quickly by a lot of these teams, is that it's happening. I don't know if you're running into it in comp, but I mean, in my scrims leading up to CGL, I'm finding myself a lot more hammered than normal. Instead of them going after the supports, they're actually taking the main tank first. And I think that a lot of teams should adopt this tactic is take the main tank out and you win the team fight pretty handily.
Well, Tribulation here looking to close this thing out right here, right now. They have 4 minutes to get 33%. Best Ignition can hope for is a draw.
I want to draw.
Sitting on the high ground. It wouldn't hurt my feelings of Super Haddock with a good move to start things off as he gets a charge kill onto BK. D-Met comes through from the other side, though. And we are back. Oh, it's going to be a 5v4 here in favor of Trib on the objective. 5v3. QZ picking up a couple kills before getting sent back to spawn himself. And now Trib just has a couple of tanks they need to deal with on this objective. A couple tanks and a Lucio. Lucio gets frozen up. They're not able to quite find the final blow there. Settling Ace getting demeched. And Ignition looking to bounce back. Fire picks up a kill as well. I guess it's just finishing off that baby deal. Whittle down low but gets the kill. And I don't believe it. Ignition holding on here on the defense. What a play.
An absolutely stunning amount of fortitude. That's the best word I can use right now. It's testicular fortitude coming from Haddock. Kind of getting a little swat to Janae in the coalescence. Actually stunned out of that coalescence. So, yeah. Good stuff coming out from Ignition right now. 2.5 minutes. Let's see what we got.
Well, Trib's going to go up through right-hand side. Counter stuns come out. BK whittles down low, but Blizzard coming out from the defense. And that Blizzard catches so many members of Tribulation. Sound Barrier does come out from Dan the Man, but 3 members of Trib had already been taken out. I think he's going to want that Sound Barrier back. And Ignition making good progress towards that draw.
Come on, lads. Let's go. Let's give us a map 4. Let's go map 4. I want to see it.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings. Would not hurt
my feelings either. Now, we do have the bomb from Settling Ace coming up. But on the other side, we've got 2 ultimates, almost 3, on the squad of Ignition getting ready to come up. So, you know, this high ground defense that they're doing right now, they're not taking much slack from them.
No, they're really not, and doing a good job of rotating and meeting Tribulation as they try to come in. Once again, they're going to do just that. Jump down onto the point, take the aggression to Trib.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, great charge comes out, finds the Lucio. Diva Bomb coming out from Tribulation, doesn't find anything now. Ignition responding. Window there. Oh, and that bomb found something. That is 4 kills coming through for Navy on that Diva. What a play. And Ignition, man, that defense. Standing tall.
I got my gong of death.
You did indeed. You did indeed.
I'm happy.
60 seconds remaining.
60 seconds on the clock, as you just heard Athena say. But Trib does still have that Earth Shatter in their pocket.
Nothing really to counteract it either on the side of Ignition, so oof, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, Bearman the closest to the ultimate there with the Moira Coalescence on the side of the defense. Wall comes off to divide up the attacking
What
team.
a pin!
And a nice pin comes out. Here comes the Earth Shatter. Earth Shatter solid. 3 members go down. Coalescence comes out from the defense as Ignition tries to hold on here, and they do get the pick onto, or they lose their McCree there, but Super Haddock coming through with a big 2K. Blizzard comes out, like you said, but fire goes down. And as members of both sides dwindle, it is Trib emerging with 2 people left on point. It's a 2v1 here on the objective.
Nami's still alive. Nami's still alive.
May versus the ice block up. Here comes the bomb from Tribulation.
Nothing doing.
Just kind of zone it off, see if they can buy a little space. And Navi does finally get frozen and taken out. Here comes the Tracer back on the point, though. Dark Matter trying to keep this thing alive here for his team. Soundbarrier comes out from the defense as well. And the overtime wick is a burn, and this is one last shot for Tribulation, but Tribulation does have that respawn advantage. Good! Earthshatter and the stick! What a wonderful combo as Dark Matter drops that package right on him. Special delivery for Tribulation, but Cosmic trying to keep his team in this. Dan the Man threw down a sound barrier as well. And Cosmic has got his Blizzard. Here comes the Blizzard. This could be the difference maker. Dan the Man picks up the kill onto the Reinhardt. No shield left. And I think Tribulation might have done it. Diva Bomb comes out from Nevi. Can it hold off the attack long enough for Ignition to be able to stabilize? Lucio is back, but the teleporter is there for the attacking team. My goodness, Billy.
Bomb coming out from settling.
Oh, and that will do it. I think that is the nail in the coffin of Ignition.
Oh, my God.
And wow, despite the best efforts of that defense, Tribulation taking it in the end. Whew. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my goodness, what an absolutely outstanding defense coming from Ignition there. You really, boys, you need to hold your heads high after this.
Seriously.
Hello?
You held them all for 4 minutes, and I mean, and almost...
We were a minute and a half into overtime, too, so I mean, just crazy.
Crazy defense coming out of Ignition, but in the end, it was not enough. Tribulation with that massive time bank, able to take it home, take Horizon Loser Colony in a 3-0 victory here tonight.
Oh my goodness, I was hoping for a map 4, but I'll take that.
That was a spectacular finish. Yeah, spectacular finish.
I'll take that all day long.
Oh,
man.
Great game and great stuff coming from both of these teams. Definitely, we'll go ahead and close it out here tonight. Thank you so much, my friends, for hanging out with us for this Tier 3 showcase. A big shout out and thank you to the teams that participated, giving us a little sneak peek into their rosters. And Billy, thank you so much for joining me, helping me bring this story to the people.
Dude, you know I love casting with you. By the way, Tier 3, watch out for Oni-chans on Tribulation. Just saying.
Beast. All right, my friends. Y'all look out for each other in game and out, as always, and we will see you next time. Have a wonderful night.